It's finally here. It's finally time for episode 1 of the Academy, D20 Modern actual play podcast. I am your game master, Riku, and I will be going by Riku in the sense of this game, since there is another Chris here, and that will just get confusing. So yes, welcome everybody to the world of the Academy. This is going to be a fun game. I am so excited to play with this group of people, and I hope you'll all enjoy the shenanigans that will soon, very soon, ensue. But this game isn't anything without the players. This game wouldn't exist without the players. So now that we have all 7 of our players here at once, some of them meeting for the first time, let's get to know them and remind ourselves who they'll be playing.
Hey everyone, it's Echo. You will know me from other Five Tribe productions if they are all combined, but probably not. There are 7 of us. There are 7 actual plays at the current moment. We have Friday Night Fights, Academy, Heckna, in Knights of Paintown. That is where you'll find me. But those are 4 of them. The other ones are Futasato, Deepwater, I believe, and what is the last one again?
Call of the Deep.
Call of the Deep. I feel like I'm
Did you count us? Did you count us?
I already said the Academy.
Okay.
The last one is going to be Red Harvest, the Deadlands Noir game.
That's the one I forgot. Thank you.
Yeah, we were actually just chatting earlier today of how this whole thing started with Mikey coming up with just like one game and then decided to split the group into 2 groups. And now he has 7 games going on and 3 podcasts and who knows what other shit
I'm already planning for season 2. It's great.
He's a madman.
This is crazy.
I am proudly I'm a dick in one of these games.
Yes,
Because I'm Red
yeah.
Harvest.
So yeah, Echo, keep going with where folks can find you and who you're playing.
They can find me somewhat on TikTok at Albert the Owlbear. That's mostly it. But I will be playing Liz/Alex, the Changeling Bard, with quote-unquote personality disorder. Split personality disorder.
Hello, everyone. Obviously, you've heard my dulcet tones way too much before at this point, but my name is Mikey. I am the owner of D&D Vibe Tribe Productions, even though this is just a Discord server, but who cares? As Echo mentioned...
I was going to say, I consider you the executive producer of all of this.
I'm everything.
I'm the talent agent.
Oh my goodness. But yes, as Echo mentioned, I am the mad lad that has decided to throw on 7 actual play podcasts, 2 of my own regular podcasts, and 1 adjunct podcast run by one of our other players, but I will let him do all that since it is his baby. But you can find me on all of my personal socials at Pop Culture Geek on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow us at D&D Vibe Tribe Production on those same social media sites to stay up to date with all the upcoming projects that we have going on. And release week is finally here at the time of this recording, so there are way too many games for you to go and binge listen. Give them a try, or at least give one a try, because they're all great, and my players are amazing through all of it. But yes, and for once, this is the first game for this round of a season that I'm not actually going to be running it. I get to be a player, and that is going to be amazing. And I get the awesome privilege to play Ramon Oseguera. He is a human Path of the Totem barbarian, so never played a barbarian, but I cannot wait to test this out.
How's it going, guys? Minimas2218, or just Mini, or Evan, whatever you want to call me. I'm playing Rashmi, the elf, half elf-ish Warlock that's going to be drunk half the time and probably cussing somebody out. You guys can catch me also here, though, on Friday Night Fights, where I play Axel, the current AW Tag Team Champion and founding member of the Gold Club. Check it out. You guys can find me on all the socials on Minimoss2218. I don't post very often, but I'm there. You mostly probably will just find me here playing with this talented group of people.
Hey everybody, this is Sutphin, or the other Chris previously referred to. I am playing Edgar Wallace, a human variant wizard in the School of Code. First time I've tried this character and this path out in this class, so I'm anxious to see how it goes, and just super excited to see what's in store for us. I've got a really good feeling about this one, so yeah, I'm ready.
Saludos programas and guten Nacht. I am Adolfo, the nerdy Puerto Rican. You can find me on the TikToks and on Instagram at the nerdy Puerto Rican. I too am a proud member of D&D Vibe Tribe Productions. I play in the Fursato game. I also play in the Friday Night Fights game. I also have a little podcast, which is known as the Nerdy Puerto Ricast, which is hosted here on the D&D Vibe Tribe Productions. And I will be playing Dagny Huta Crypta, Deep Gnome Necromancer, that's good.
That's good. Oh, I am so glad I am recording video as well, because that is going to be such a and I'm so glad you actually chose this character, because I know we were debating between a couple. Also check the website, because that's where you'll find out where we're actually hosting the video podcast. Still probably on the D&D Vibe Tribe YouTube, or maybe somewhere else.
Doggone it, every time. Wrong podcast.
Have too many
Just kidding,
characters,
everyone.
bro.
My name is Josh. Yes, I'm Josh. I also go by MG Preacher on TikTok, and you can also follow me on Instagram at MG Preacher Mark 2. And as Echo was saying, I am in a lot of these podcasts. And yes, Mikey, I play a lot of different characters. I am in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these podcasts. So that is a lot of different characters I've got to remember. I'm surprised my head hasn't exploded yet. Yes, I will be.
I think the only podcast. I think the only podcast you're not in is Friday Night Fights.
Friday Night Fights.
That is correct.
But anyways, I won't try to keep us very long.
Now.
I won't try and keep us very long. I am playing Thorgmir Zeinholmer. Thorgmir is a dwarf. He is half dwarven elf, and he is a ranger.
Hey everybody, my name's Dylan, or I go by Roll6s. You can find me all over the internet at Roll6s, Twitter, Instagram, also on Twitch. I don't do a lot of streaming these days, but I'm a variety streamer when I do stream. Feel free to follow me on all those social media. Today, I will be playing Wyatt Luckbringer, a human fighter gunslinger archetype. Watch your 6, because I'm coming for you.
Wait, you forgot the best part of that, your name.
What? That Wyatt Luckbringer? The second?
The second. You gotta include that. I love it.
Key question, does he have a bazooka?
Listen, you cannot be bringing the bazooka into all these games,
Again,
okay?
I'm changing the name of the move, John McCack, to the T-shirt bazooka.
Oh, God.
We'll talk
right.
afterwards.
Yeah. We'll talk about crossover episodes later. Anyway, that is our wonderful cast of characters. We're if you haven't gotten a chance to check out the session 0, where they're all making their characters and hearing more about their backstories and where they're from and the crazy ideas we came up with, definitely check out that episode. But now that we have our characters, why don't we get into the adventure? Y'all ready? All right.
Let's rock and roll.
Wait.
I feel so important.
Episode 1, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it's going to be all campaign.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a soundboard. I do not apologize for that. All right, here we go. So, the date is April 27th, 499 GA. It is the day of the opening ceremonies for the Midwest Invitational for the celebration competition. It is being held in Chicago, Illinois. It's about 50, 55, but nice blue skies, beautiful day. Makes you wonder why we're going to be inside watching a tournament instead of being outside and enjoying this weather. And that's also because I wish it was actually 55 or higher right now here in Wisconsin. Anyway, our scene opens up at the front gate where we find Edgar getting ready to head on inside. Edgar, would you mind describing how your character looks or what they're wearing and that kind of stuff?
So Edgar's kind of, I don't know, plain clothes, maybe just some work khakis, some dungarees, some sensible, comfortable shoes, light jacket because it's the 50s. He wants to enjoy short sleeve weather, but it's not quite there just yet. But that'll happen. So just looking around, taking in all of the wares.
All right.
Mhm.
So as you're walking around, checking everything out, before you actually walk in, as you're walking, all of a sudden there is this guy who just runs up to you and just in your face, wild-eyed, and is saying, "Oh, you can't support this. You can't support all this craziness. Come on, don't support this magic. Everything was so much better before the awakening. We didn't have to worry about any of this stuff. Please do not support this craziness."
Why do you think it's crazy? We're just all here. There's just a bunch of us. Yeah, I'm anxious to see what's happening. Explain to me, what's your take on all of it?
Ever since magic has came to this world, it has been nothing but destructive and bringing so much terrible happenings to this world. So we need to keep away. And as he's trying to explain this to you and stammering over his words, trying to come up with a good excuse, you suddenly hear a as a dog is barking. You look back to see where it's coming from, and you see a Siberian Husky running right toward you and this random dude. The dude just looks terrified and just bolts into the other direction screaming. He's afraid of dogs like crazy. And now there is this little Siberian Husky that is just takes a seat and looks up with you.
Hey, let's reach out and let's give him a little ear scratch.
He loves the ear scratch. He starts kicking his leg and loves it.
Yeah, maybe I should I should check my pack, see if I have any bacon, maybe.
Ooh, bacon sounds good.
That would be a good treat, I'm sure. I'm sure I have something close to it anyway.
So, first off, you just heard the dog say, "Ooh, bacon sounds good." And as you turn back to the dog, you now see a pair of legs. And you look up, and there is actually a human standing where the dog once stood. And he goes, "Whew, yeah, I could really go for some bacon right now. Skip breakfast this morning. You could stand up, don't worry about it."
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
As he's brushing stray dog hair off of himself. Those crazies come around here every year, all the time, spouting their anti-magic craziness, so don't give them any mind. This man is in a dress shirt, has a nice-looking vest on, dress slacks. There's actually a pocket watch that goes into his vest pocket, and he goes, "Oh, forget my manners. Sorry about my manners. My name is Patrick." very nice to meet you, and sorry for the trouble.
Oh, very nice to meet you too, Patrick. My name is Edgar. I'm glad I bumped into you. I think, and I do appreciate you helping out with our previous visitor.
Nah, no worries. It's kind of my job. I'm on the security team here, but I'm a little bit undercover. So just run around like a dog, scaring off these crazies. But it's fun. It's fun watching them run. You're not from around here, are you?
Oh no, definitely not. I made quite a little journey to get here, so lots of advertisements for this event that I saw. I wanted to come and check everything out, kind of see what it's all about. I've got a lot of interest, a lot of questions, a lot of things I want to check out up here. So, any tips, maybe advice?
Oh, tips.
Inside passes you could give me since you're on the security team?
I wish I had that kind of power, but unfortunately I don't have any inside passes, as he does put out his hand a little bit just to give you it's a general admission ticket to actually get inside, so you don't have to worry about buying it. So I wish I could help you. But as for inside, I would definitely check out the vendor room. They have so many people from all over the area who decide to come down, show their wares, show what they've made, or are selling. There's some really cool stuff that I actually didn't realize that folks were even making. So definitely take a look around there. There might be something that catches your eye there, especially for a curious fellow like yourself.
Definitely. It is on my list.
All right. I gotta get back to cleaning up this area before the opening ceremony starts. So I'll catch you later and enjoy the show.
Thank you, sir.
He goes ahead and bows to you and walks off in the opposite direction. All right. So you're going to go ahead and head inside. And now we are going to actually cut to just outside of the entrances to the seats. It's not exactly the vendor area. It's in that promenade. And we find a booth set up with Dagny sitting right behind it. Can you tell us, like, how is Dagny dressed? How does Dagny look? And how did you decorate your booth?
Dagny is actually going to be standing next to the booth. Dagny is a 3-foot 2-inch deep gnome. His skin is a darker bluish purplish hue. He has long silvery white hair, which is currently pulled back into a ponytail, and so to be almost appears slicked back, no flyaways or anything like that. He has a skinnier frame, and he is currently wearing a white button-up shirt with a white suit, and he has a white tie on with black and white wingtips, a gold chain on the jacket. He has round John Lennon-like glasses, which are adjusted like forward on closer to the tip of his nose. His nose is long but rounded, so it doesn't look like a bird beak or anything like that. His eyes look like they are 2 times too big for his head. They're large like saucers, and they are colored gold. And the booth, it's a very professional looking booth. It's for the Hooter funeral home, his family's funeral home. So on the booth you have some paraphernalia and pamphlets on the Hooter funeral home, making the great sleep that much more comfortable. That's their slogan. Not on the table, but off the table, like on tripods. There are some, like, 2 flat screens, one on one side, one on the other side, angled, and they are giving like a video slideshow presentation on the Hooter funeral home and the perks that you get when using the Hooter funeral home. Dagny himself, as I said, he's standing by the booth and his arms are behind his back and he has just this very big smile, which normally would be warm and inviting, but in this case it's just creepy. Not creepy enough to keep people away, but definitely creepy enough to like make people slow down. And it's if there was a sound effect when people would look at him, it'd be that theremin 1950s sci-fi look. And as people are walking by, he's nodding and with a smile. Yeah, guten Tag. Yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah. It's just, and he's waiting for people to show up. Anyone that would take a peek behind the table, you would see that there is a chair that has been provided by the hall that the games are being held at, and on the chair on top of a blanket is a weasel, and it's curled up and currently sleeping.
Cool. You've had a few folks stop up and chat with you about your services and stuff. At one point, this man came up and started letting you know that he's getting ready for someone's eventual passing, which then he is then dragged away from your booth by his ear by what appeared to be his mother-in-law. And you have quite a few. Visitors have died down at this point as people are either finding their seats, getting refreshments, checking out the vendor area for the last time before heading inside. Before we go further, I'd actually like you to make a dexterity check for me.
13.
13? Okay. So as you're standing there, smiling at the crowd and whatnot, suddenly in front of your face, you see a wrench just fall straight down from the sky to your feet. Just like barely missing you.
So Dagny will just stand there, smiling, slowly look down at the wrench, smiling, and then slowly look up at the wrench, smiling, and will say, "Has someone misplaced a tool? Yeah."
So you look up, you don't see anyone up there or anything, but as you look back down, there is now an upside down hanging man looking straight at you and essentially going, sorry about that. Must not have had it attached pretty well. He then hooks himself off of his rappel, flips himself right back over, picks up the wrench. It's like, couple more inches, you probably would have to go purchase your own services.
I was just thinking the same thing. When he laughs again, normally it'd be charming, but in this case, not it's creepy.
I love it. And this man just goes, "You're a funny one, aren't you?" This man has basically red hair, a red beard, no mustache, bit of a stout man. He is wearing jean overalls with a red t-shirt underneath, which is the uniform for Infant Stadium, which is where you are at right now. He has a pair of almost like steampunky goggles on his head. And I'm doing my best, but he also speaks with a pretty heavy Irish accent.
What was his name again? Did he say his name?
He didn't say his name yet, yes.
Okay.
But yeah. So he basically looks up to you and he goes, odd seeing a funeral home advertising here, especially since we haven't had a death in 500 years almost for this tournament.
You see, not odd at all. Yeah, I work for the Hooter Crypta funeral services. This is my family's funeral home, yeah. Though we are based in Boston, we are moving into the Midwest, and what better place to drum up business than right here in this institution, yeah.
Oh, good to know. Here! And he pulls out a business card and hands it to you to say, would y'all decide to move out here? Let me know. I may be able to help you find a place to stay or finding good places to go eat and stuff. So give me a call.
Are
You take
you
a-
real? Are you realtor or tour guide advisor? Yeah.
Nah, I'm just a mechanic. This is just a side gig that I have. Normally, I'm a mechanic. I'm working on vehicles, repairs, things like that. I have a shop actually not too far from here, so if your car breaks down, let me know. But I get around the Midwest a lot, so I have a lot of good suggestions.
Dagny will lean in a little bit and be like, "Does mechanic have name? Yeah."
It's like, that's why I gave you my business card, didn't I? Yeah.
So Dagny will look at the business card.
On the business card, it says Fogshot Mechanic Services, Jeremiah Fogshot, owner.
Jeremiah. That is good name. Yeah, that is very good name. Yeah. I am Dagny, the eldest son of the Huta Crypta family. Yeah, it's good to meet thee.
It's good to meet you too, Dagny. And you could just call me Jay for short. Everyone else does. And it's just the letter, J. It's not like Jay or anything like that. It's just a letter.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
So-
Oh, I'm sorry, Jay.
Don't worry about it. I should get back to work because there's a couple more electric stuff that I need to run before this shebang goes off. So, catch you later. And he walks off. He actually walks behind you towards the wall behind your booth and effortlessly just starts walking up the wall, up to the top. As if it was nothing there. And he's just...
Okay. The weasel, when that happens, the weasel picks its head up and like its eyes watch Jay. And then the weasel will turn to Dagny, and Dagny will look at the weasel and just they nod at each other, and then Dagny goes back to standing there with his hands behind his back and smiling.
Awesome. So now we are gonna move just along the corridor leading to the vendor area, where we find Thormir and his wolf companion Leonidas just strolling the halls. You actually have you do have your normal outfit underneath, but you are wearing this bright yellow shirt that just says security across it. And you're making your way down the halls. Across the hall, you can see like the sea of people just in there. But towering above them all, you actually see what looks like a metal head. And as it gets closer, you realize the metal head is like jumbling, carrying a whole bunch of weapons down the hallway. And as he gets closer, he actually ends up tripping and falling at your feet. Josh?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I was about to say,
I had the
Mike,
mute button off,
Mike.
but it wasn't doing nothing. So I don't know what was going on. So you said he just fell at my feet carrying a whole bunch of weapons.
Yeah, he's like carrying a whole bunch of weapons, like trying his best to hold them all. There's a couple swords, a couple guns. There's a couple items in there that look like wands and other focuses, component pouches, a whole bunch of stuff. And he's just trying to like juggle them. I keep hitting my mic. Juggle them all over the place to not drop them. And he trips and drops them all in front of your feet.
First of all, is he okay when he fell?
You end up asking, do you end up asking him if he's okay?
Yeah, when I see him fall, I'm just like, are you okay?
He looks up at you and he just goes, yeah, I'm okay. Nothing like that hurts me. Trying to find a sound, but it's not working, but it's a very robotic voice you're hearing from him. You recognize this person from security orientation. He was one of the people. I shouldn't really say people. He was one of the leads that was conducting orientation. And he looks up at you and goes, mind helping me out a bit?
Yeah, no problem. I can help you out. But instead of walking through all these crowded corridors, you do know that you were supposed to be walking through the maintenance hallways, right?
Yeah, I know, but unfortunately, someone else decided to drop one of the stink bombs in there, so it ain't all too pleasant. Even us Warforged can still smell the atrocity that is down there. So to avoid it, I just thought I'd come around here.
And you didn't think of packing all these things onto a cart or something, so you're not trying to juggle all of these?
They're all on the other side of the smoke bomb. I know. I wish it was bad planning on our part, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But
I want an honest answer because I would have
Yeah.
just tried to hold my breath to get one of those carts. And when I say that, I'm guessing they issued me a radio or something. I get on the radio and I ask for them to bring me a cart so we can put all this stuff on one of those carts.
yeah, he looks at you kind of funny because of the radio, because it's like, what? And he picks out his radio and he's clicking it. It's not working for him. They always stick me with the dud ones. Anyway, thank you for your help. What did you say your name was again?
There's in here. And I just kind of
So-
just pat Leonidas on the side and said, "This is."
Oh, very nice. My full name is XCC-31510, and I am an R-class Warforged. Yes, but most people just call me XC. So I really thank you for your help with this. They didn't really make me too dexterous.
As well, just next time, just try to. What's the word I'm looking for? Take the initiative, and like I said, just if you have to, hold your breath to get a cart or something. Because what if somebody was decided to try to run past us when you fell? They might have got hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt here.
I know. Look at you, a new recruit trying to tell the lead what to do.
I just look at him.
It's all good, buddy. I appreciate the feedback, but I just sometimes just like to do my own thing. Speaking of new recruit, would you say, I know we did introductions during orientation and stuff, but where'd you say you're from?
From the western portion of Kentucky, actually. Nearby where West Virginia used to be.
Yeah, it's right near the coal mine. The last one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually where I got made. Some of the coal that was from that mine and
Really?
was how I got designed and made. So I know that place very well. Way before your time, obviously. I was actually here before the Great Awakening, so I actually got to see it happen.
That was a sight.
It was. I saw it. I should say I saw it start to happen, and then I powered myself down.
Nope, I don't want to see any more.
Yep. And when I woke up, I was actually on a truck here, on my way here. And so I've been here ever since, and been protecting this place from any, like, vandals or anyone trying to steal anything.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I was a game warden back home. I was called for all different types of things. So I actually worked with the police more than I did hunters, oddly enough.
Awesome. That's some cool stuff. Glad you have the experience. It's no shock that they recruited you for this. Awesome. And as he's talking about this, you see the cart that you requested on its way to y'all. And I forgot to mention, this is very black and silver warforged. Looks if the Iron Giant. You remember the movie The Iron Giant?
Oh yeah.
He looks like a miniature version of that. but still like really tall. And a lot more detail. He has this weird, it looks almost like metal feathers just going down the back of his head. And he also somehow fit a yellow security shirt over all of this, which is, you can see like the bolts and bits like popping out of the shirt. And he just goes, well, thank you for your help. Thank you for keeping me accountable. And hey, my dinner break is at 6. Do you happen to have your dinner break then too?
About what time my break is? I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's around then.
Cool. Definitely. Let's grab dinner.
That sounds good.
Cool. I'll see you down at the break room when it's time, but gotta get these into the vault.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, later. And he just starts pushing the cart along. And you will just go continuing your rounds.
So me and Leo are just.
Yep, you're walking down the halls. Leonidas is doing his sniff tests all around as you're walking, and you're just continuing your rounds. We're actually now going to cut to the actual vendor room, where we come upon a nice little booth with a bunch of handmade teddy bears and lots of other cool accoutrements. Ramon, why don't you describe how your booth looks and how you currently look at your booth?
Awesome. Okay. And so Ramon is standing at a good somewhere between 6'6". He's a pretty tall gentleman. Ramon is a little bit on the older side. He is pushing late 40s, early 50s. He has kept hair that's starting to go salt and pepper on it, and a full-grown kind of tamed but salt and pepper beard to match what's on top of his head. But that's pretty the only thing that gives away Ramon's age, because in his current outfit, he is currently wearing probably what he normally wears when he is hosting a booth anywhere he goes. So it is this sleeveless kind of hoodie top that's splattered in blue, pink, and purple kind of paint design all over it. The pants are a similar design on the bottom. He is covered with, on both arms, full sleeves of tattoos, and but hanging off his little belt loop is a couple of keychains that are of the different animals and teddy bears that he has, which we'll get into a little bit later. As far as Ramon's booth goes, it's nothing too flashy. It's very simple, but it's very well designed. This isn't Ramon's first rodeo in doing so. So towards the back of the booth, you just see a hand-painted kind of mural with the similar design as Ramon's outfit that he's currently wearing right now. And it just says Ramon's Wears and Tears. And on the table is just a variety of different stuffed teddy bears, keychains, a couple of skate decks as well. But yeah, so Ramon is trying to get people to come on over to look at his wares, to look at his designs, and of course, as any businessman should, try to get people to buy his stuff.
Awesome. So folks have been coming in and out. A few folks have went ahead. You've made some sales so far, which is pretty good. Some really cool one, enough that you can definitely come away with a profit for once. And so right now there's no one at your booth, and you would just be looking around, and suddenly you start to hear, "Hey, mister! Hey!" And you don't see anyone right away. And you hear, "Mister! Down here!" And you go ahead and look over the booth, and you can finally see a little girl. Blonde hair, wearing a long sleeve pink shirt, jeans, has a couple earrings in, and she just goes, "Can I have a teddy bear?"
So I want to preface, as loud as Ramon can possibly can without scaring the child, he's going to let out this big bellowing laugh. "Why, of course. What can I get you, love?"
"Do you have any pink ones?"
I definitely have some pink ones. Now, would you like that regular, or are you going more for a tie-dye effect with your teddy bear?
Regular.
Most certainly. And so Ramon is going to go to the stock, grab the pink teddy bear, and Ramon sees this little girl and kind of just leans over to her. Would you like me to dress it up for you?
And she basically nods very excitedly.
Any particular style that you want, love?
And she just stops there and you could see the wheels turning in her head. She's for a minute there and just goes, something cool. Something like what you're wearing. Very that kind of punk rock type style.
That I can certainly do. Just give me a minute. And so Ramon is going to go pull out his kind of like little satchel. He opens it up, and just inside you just see a bunch of different pieces of fabric. Let's see. Use this one yesterday. This one is currently not in season. Let's go with this one. So he pulls out a pattern similar to what he is wearing, but the accented colors are more to go with the pink teddy bear. And so Ramon is going to, just because of his experience, he is actually going to try to fashion a nice little outfit similar to what he's wearing. And then as an extra flair, he's going to add a hat to go with it as well as an extra bonus. So after a couple minutes...
Oh, like this one? And she points to it, and I forgot to mention this, she has like a wool hat with a palm on the top. This is still chilly for her. And it is a sky blue color with a white palm on top.
Oh, even better. So yeah, Ramon creates that and puts it on the teddy bear exactly like hers with his outfit on it and hands it to her and just says, now normally this would cost a little bit, but for you, it's free of charge, young one.
Thanks. My name's Sarah.
So at this point, Ramon is going to walk over from the booth and get on her level. So he's going to sit down to meet her at her level. It's nice to meet you, Sarah. My name is Ramon.
Now, real quick, as you get down to get a closer look at her, can you just make a perception check for me?
Oh, boy. All right, so perception. So let's come on, dice. Don't fail me now. You're not terrible, dice, but we're going to have a talk later. That is a 14.
Okay. You notice that it's definitely a little girl, but she seems pretty mature for her age, even with her high voice.
So as Ramon is sitting here, you know what? Forget it. He's just going to keep going with it. So he makes the introduction and is like, my name's Ramon, Sarah. It's a pleasure to meet you. Holds out his big hand towards her.
And she shoots out her little tiny hand to shake yours.
So gingerly with his thumb and index finger just grabs it and shakes it.
Nice. And did you give her the bear?
Oh, of course.
And then she grabs the bear, kind of hugs it, and then looks up at you as, okay, Mr. Ramon, see you later, and runs away. And you see her actually run to a older man and woman, and she's showing her the teddy bear and super happy. And you see her point back at you, and the mother looks back and she just gives you a little heart as thank you. They definitely don't look like the wealthiest of families, so they're really happy for this. And then they just go on their way.
Another satisfied customer.
Another justified satisfied.
Sure, let's go with that. I can words today.
Yep. All right. We're going to take the scene now to the opposite side of the vendor area. Echo, who's in charge right now, Liz or Alex?
I'm going to say Liz is in charge right now.
Liz is just strolling through the vendor mart, looking at all of the different things and cool things that are out there. And what kind of things would catch your eye?
For Liz, Probably everything. She's just like going around seeing. It's more like I haven't left Ohio in 250 years, so of course this is all going to be interesting.
Let's say you're actually stopped at a book stand. There's someone there that has written a bunch of novels, fantasy novels about. Think of someone who would be writing a fantasy novel. It's considered a historic fantasy novel about the pandemic. And there is a novel, a fantasy novel about fighting this evil monster called COVID and all this stuff. It's like a whole legend now.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Liz is just laughing, trying to keep a laugh in just reading that.
As I'm going to guess that Liz also has some kind of, she's holding in the laugh, but you can see her body move trying to hold it in.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you hear someone go, I don't recognize that's stifling anywhere.
You caught me.
You turn and one of your old students, Ava.
Liz is just giving Ava a big bear hug.
Yes. They just do that kind of like running embrace of each other. Oh, it's been so long. How have you been?
I've been well. How have you been?
I've been good. I just actually graduated from Camden University, in Camden as a university out in Seattle, and just got my PhD in history.
I see you're somewhat following my path. A little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, your lectures inspired me, so I decided to do more research, mostly on dragons and draconics. I was just looking at myself and how magic comes about for me, and I see so much other people using books and trying to learn this stuff. And me, and she goes and snaps her finger, and a little flame appears right above her fist. It just happens.
Yes. And for me, it's just based off my emotions.
Oh, and then she just goes, "Oh, hi, Alex." And then you realize that that's when you remember that she can read minds, so she can dive into your mind and talk to Alex as well.
Alex, I was expecting this, but fine. Alex,
She's an aberrant mind sorcerer, so she does the psionics and all that stuff. So she can, yeah. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have intruded.
It's fine. It's just weird from the outside actually seeing it. I don't know how some people actually see me.
Speaking of, what brings you here? It's odd to not see you outside of Ohio.
I came to see you, actually.
Really? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, God. And now the pressure's on. And you see her kind of like a tiny little anxiety attack of like, oh my God, my mentor is here to watch me compete. Oh God.
Don't worry, he'll be fine.
I hope so. I've been really practicing, and I think I got some of my skills down pat for the magic showcase. So I hope I make you proud.
You've already made me proud.
Yep. And then over the loudspeaker, you hear, "Would all combatants please make your way to the locker rooms? Would all combatants make your way to the locker room?" And she goes, "Oh, it's almost time for the opening ceremonies. I should go, but thank you so much for coming."
Good luck.
Yes.
And don't fail.
She turns back at you. Yeah, that's the Alex I remember. And she just continues.
Yes. Bye. Shoot.
Yeah. So she goes ahead and heads off to the locker area.
Alex is not a good teacher.
And as she goes ahead and walks down, just checking my checklist here. Yes. So as she goes ahead and walks down to the locker room area, she passes by the security break room door. And And so our scene is going to actually transition inside the break room door, where we find Wyatt sitting there enjoying his break. His next duty is actually on the floor of the stadium for the opening ceremonies, and he got a bit of a lunch break right before that happens. Wyatt, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you look in this situation besides just the shirt? And I guess, what are you eating?
Wyatt's just he begrudgingly cut up the security shirt and sewed the part that says security onto his own black t-shirt. And when anybody said anything to him about it, he just said, all you said was that I had to have this thing that said I was security on it. You didn't say anything about me having to wear your shirt, and your shirts aren't tailored like my shirts are. And he just gives a gruff look. And so Wyatt's wearing black jeans, very tailored black t-shirt that has, like I said, that security stitch, he hand stitched with his own tools the other part of the t-shirt onto his t-shirt. On each of his hips, he's got a holster where he's clearly not hiding a pair of heavy machine pistols. And he's wearing a light-duty vest protecting his upper torso from potential dangers. He's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, along with a mustache and part of a goatee. He's a pretty boy with that black tousled hair, just not really worrying too much, and because it looks good no matter how he arranges it. He's sitting there. He is excited to be working in a place that has vending machines, and so he is availing himself of the vending machines. He's bought a candy bar, a bag of chips, a sandwich, a pop,
Can of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, he literally is buying one from everything. And as he sits there, he's talking to himself. And he's, oh, okay, I need to make sure that I'm keeping my eyes out for potential trouble, because people here, they seem to be nothing but trouble. I tell you what, I'm fixing to have me a talk with the supervisor, because their security is so lax here. If I was back in North Carolina, or excuse me, they call it just Carolina now, but I'm still from North Carolina, if you know what I'm saying. Let's be honest. He's just talking as he's eating and talking to himself, going over his routine, right?
All right. I'd actually like you to also make a perception check.
Sure. Big perception. I am proficient in that. So let's see here. That would be an 8.
All right. You're sitting there talking to yourself, and as you're eating, talking to yourself, and even over your voice, you can hear the door of the break room behind you open up.
Sure. Wyatt will peek over his shoulder and see who's coming in.
So you spot he's an odd-looking figure. His skin is a bit more grayed than the normal skin pigments. He has long, flowing hair. Yeah, otherwise, just seems pretty humanoid. You notice that he has on, because for some reason they're coming back in style. You remember the Hot Topic pants with all the chains and straps all over it?
Yeah, trip pants. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, so he's wearing those with his also security shirt. That his security shirt is a tad different, as it also has, we're going to say, it has an emblem on it, which is actually the local police force, which normally means as a security guard, he also has the authority to arrest. And that's really all that means. You do recognize him, again, from security orientation. His name is Callum, Calum. And as he walks in, he walks up to you and he goes ahead and basically just tosses a name tag onto the table in front of you and just goes, if you're not going to wear the shirt, at least wear the name tag so people don't think you're just wearing a security t-shirt.
Now, Callum, you know that I've got all the proper authority and paperwork, and I got my security badge right here, the one that I have to scan whenever I come into this building. If you want me to wear a name tag, I'll of course do so for you, sir. I don't wanna be offending anyone.
It's more for others to identify you, if anything. It's not really us here on security. We know who you are. That's fine. But for other people, if they need to find someone, at least know that you're actually a security guard and not that punk I just had to toss out of here that had a security it was actually a red security shirt on. So just need to make sure.
Of course, and that's no problem. Like I'm fixing to do whatever you need me to do now. So like, Wyatt like reaches down and puts it right on his shirt, and it does pain him because, as I said, this is a tailored shirt. And now he's poking holes in it, and he's so. Do you have any more information on who hired me? Since you seem to be the one in charge here, and the decision to bring me onto the team was a mystery and all.
Yeah, head of security likes to keep himself secretive. No one here really knows his name, but he's been vouched essentially by Infin to be head of security here. And really, Infin feels like everything days. Just as a background, Infin is, I'd say, if Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft all combined into a single company, that would be Infin. They control a lot in this world. So he essentially goes, yeah, you've been vetted. They sent scout outs. You've met a couple of the scouts. I think you met XC earlier at orientation. He was one of the scouts that were out there. So I know I think his recommendation was actually for your invitation. But as far as the head of security, I wish I knew what to tell you, buddy.
It don't matter a lick to me. The credits were good. They bought me a first-class ticket to come here. Quality knows quality, so they obviously had heard about the work that I've done before. So I'm happy to be here.
Oh, for sure. And the payout you're going to get after this is just as good. Don't worry about having to pay your way here. You'll be able to take a couple more flights just on your own. Taking some sights overseas, even if you wanted to.
Whatever. I'm in the prime of my life, as they say. So I'm looking to work, but I'm sure there's a job for me in Ireland or maybe in Kentucky or California, wherever there's a place for me. I'll find bad guys and put them in cuffs and deal with any monsters that we might find. So
you're just work, aren't you? I was talking about going on vacation. Check out Ireland. Check out the greenery there. Check out the bars there. Oh my god. And just check out the world and not worry about work. You'll make enough from this just to do that.
I'll take it under advisement.
All right. And he goes ahead and looks up at the clock and says, I should better get to my station. I think you got about 10 minutes before you have your duties. It looks like you are on the floor. Lucky you. So that will be a lot of fun. And it looks like you are paired with Thormir down there. Nice. They'll actually have your guard dog you're going to take with you onto the field at the entrance. Really beautiful Siberian Husky that is going to be your companion. And Thormir actually brought his own companion with him. I guess we'll see you out there for the show.
All right.
He gives you a pat on the shoulder.
All right. Well, you stay safe now, and let's hope that these games are as quiet and uneventful as they have been in years past.
Yeah, uneventful from our sides, but let me tell you, you get the best seats in the house for this show. I will tell you that. and he gives you kind of a salute, like a 2-finger later, and goes ahead and walks out.
All right. Wyatt will realize that he doesn't have time to finish like the bounty before him, and he'll stow his candy bar, finishes pop in front of him, and then mosey down towards the station.
All right. So as you do that, we're gonna cut our scene over to the locker rooms, where we find one of the competitors here, Rashmi. I said that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where we find Rashmi there, getting ready for the opening ceremonies. You're allowed to wear whatever you want out there. There are some people who came in just common clothes, who dressed up in whatever armor or things they have. You're allowed to take your weapons out. There are some people that went crazy with their outfits and did like whole like gigantic wings, or have like spinning wheels on them and can go crazy with it. So you're just about done with getting your outfit on. So why don't you describe what you're wearing for these opening ceremonies?
So then he's currently just wearing, it's like a leather armor, like essentially what see like jeans, like black jeans almost. And around he has a long sword on his back. His left hand is covered in like these Gaelic tattoos that come down to a big Gaelic knot in the center of his left hand. And around his waist appears to be like almost like a Batman utility belt, but instead of like little pockets, it's different flasks. And he's currently chugging down a big, like another flask right now, looking around going, I'm too sober for this shit.
From behind you, as you say that, from behind you, you hear a woman just go, "You're telling me. Let me get a sip." And as you turn around, this wood elf looking person she is wearing what looks like a loose tank top, shorts on. You see that she's barefoot, wraps around her hands, and she's standing there like, "I haven't had a drink all day. How did you get those in here?"
Hold on. And he's gonna take another big swig and go, now I'm drunk enough to talk to you. What?
You seem like the guy I met at the bar last night.
There's a bar here? Fuck. Missed it. I was passed down the dumpster out back.
And he just goes, "Bro, we're in Chicago. There's bars everywhere."
Well, I'm trying to live here.
Yeah.
You want to have a drink?
You live here and you didn't know that?
I thought that we're talking about a bar that's in like this giant building.
Oh, there are a couple places selling like beer and stuff, but I like the hard shit.
There.
What's your go-to bar? She takes the flask and goes ahead and takes a drink.
I think they call it the Shoe.
Oh.
It's the only one I haven't been kicked out of yet. As I poke out another flask.
I think I've seen you. I think I've seen you down at the Shoe before. I've been there a couple times. I try to hop around to the different ones.
Oh, that we go into still.
Oh, you must be quite the party when you get drunk. And she goes and takes another big swig and then hands the flask back.
You can just hold on to that one. I got 7 more.
Thanks. And she goes and she takes the flask and stuffs it into her bra. And I'm like, I'll save that for later. So, which competitions are you in?
I don't remember. All I know is, like, I took a drink. There's a piece of paper in my cup. I said something about fighting, and next thing I'm here.
Yeah, that's how they got me too. Drunk at the bar and snuck that invitation right in front of me. Except I actually remember what I put. I just thought it was a fun opportunity to fight.
Remember, I think it was like 101 or some shit like that. I don't remember. All I know is I think they're paying me. I think it's why I'm here.
You'll get a stipend. Yeah, they give you a stipend for it, and there's also some prize money if you win, and of course you get full access and all expenses paid to the main event for the 500th anniversary, which is what I've been training for. You're in, are you in unarmed combat or armed combat?
And points to my sword. That's I use this thing.
Ah, and she like slips behind you to take a better look at it. Can you actually describe the sword? I know it's your packed weapon, so go ahead and describe your sword and how it looks.
It looks like it's actually the only possession he owns that is like somewhat. It looks nice. Like it's the only thing he seems to be like taken care of. Like Rhapsody himself is like his hair's like his shoulder length, but it's super unkempt. He looks like he just woke up about 30 minutes ago. He's not covered in throw up though. He knows that he can hold his liquor, but his sword is the blade is very silver in nature, so it looks very silver, very shiny, and the hilt is this gold hilt that seems to like almost like wrap to a gem on the top that's red, and it has these two. The crossguard is just a standard crossguard that has two little also like ruby like gems in the crossguard of the sword.
Nice. She's very keen on the rubies that are in your sword. She loves jewels. You could see her bag is almost bedazzled with different jewels, and they're actually real jewels. They're not like the plastic bedazzled stuff. And she takes a look at the jewels. Oh, did you make the sword yourself?
What the fuck did you get behind me so quick? What the Sam? As he like turns around, but like gets a head rush because he turned around too quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
actually,
right.
Can you make real quick? Can you make a perception check for me?
Yeah, I got you. Perception. I rolled a 1.
First natural 1 of the campaign.
Total of a 3.
Yeah, you don't even notice that she slipped behind you. You just suddenly hear her talking from behind you.
What the? As he turns around and has to put his hand on his shoulder because he turned around too quick. It's like, hold on.
And you turned around. As you turned around, she slips by you again to get back to the other side of you. So you turn around and you don't see her.
Am I talking to a fucking ghost?
It's like, no, I'm just right here. I'm just trying to get... Stop turning. I'm trying to take a look at the sword.
Stop doing that. You can just ask to look at it.
You forget about it. Did you make the sword or not?
No, it was a gift from my sister.
Well, she has some taste. How did she get those rubies?
I have no idea. She's dead, so...
Oh. My condolences.
Nah, she died 20 years ago. You're fine.
All right. Wherever she got, those are beautiful.
I have no idea where she got. Do you know anybody who needs a doctor, by the way?
Say again?
Anybody who needs a doctor, by the way? I'm like a doctor.
Hey, if the staff always needs some sort of clerics or folks to help out, these games can get pretty... These games can get pretty bloody, but we've had 0 deaths. So we always have a healing staff on hand to essentially make sure that there are no liabilities.
I spent all my money on all this alcohol. I have no food.
There was, but they took it all away because they're getting ready for us to go out, dude. And as she says
smack my head against the locker.
And as she says that, you hear over the locker loudspeakers, "Combatants, please make your way to your starting line. Again, all combatants, please make your way to your starting lines. The show will begin in about 10 minutes.
Where the... Huh? Where am I going? I don't even know how I got here, to be honest with you.
And she gives out like a sigh and grabs a piece of paper right off of your locker and shows you it. Like, this line here in the tunnels, that circle is you. It's number 17. Just go find the number 17 on the ground and stand on it.
716, got it.
Sure, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes ahead and she like shoos you out. Like, no, shoo, I need to get ready too.
Okay. Merry 500th anniversary, Miss... I don't fucking know. I'm just walking his way out.
Layla. My name's Layla.
You can just call me Rashmi.
Nice to meet you too, Rashmi. Now get out of here before I kick your head in.
And he slowly walks out and bumps into the trash can on the way out and falls over. He's like, I didn't know that was that guy.
Layla, out of your sight, Layla just sighs and just rolls her eyes. Some people just need to learn how to control their liquor. Jeez.
The sight, he walks completely normal, is completely fixed it the entire time.
I love it. Anyway, all right. As for everyone else, so Thormir and Wyatt, you are down on the floor of the stadium. The stadium area is actually a ice hockey rink, and it's just basically covered with like fake grass right now. There are doors on either end where the goals would be, and you two are each guarding opposite doors. Thormir, you have Leonidas at your side on a leash. Your protocol, you have to have him on a leash. Wyatt, you have this dog that you don't know their name of, a Siberian Husky, also on a leash at that other door. You can see Wyatt. You can actually see the dog is like twitching his neck, trying to like scratch off the collar and the leash. He hates it. He hates it so much. And we also have Rashmi. You are in you're gone ahead and you're in your tunnel. You're in your place. You were brought to your place and everything. Dagny, Ramon, Liz or Alex, and Edgar. I would like if all four of you can roll a d4 real quick.
That is a 3.
Since it's Liz, I'm using a pink die.
Wyatt has a 4.
Oh, Wyatt doesn't need to roll.
My apologies. I thought you were talking about all of us.
Oh, no, just the 4 I mentioned. I just need Dagny's roll. 3. Oh, sweet. And everyone goes ahead and enters the stadium to take their seats. The announcement went off to take your seats. As luck would have it, Liz, Ramon, and Dagny, you're actually sitting all right next to each other. You're in row D, seats number, I'm going to say 5, 6, 7. So the three of you are actually sitting right happen to roll the dice and sit right next to each other. Edgar, you are not too far from them. You can see them if you knew who they were. You're actually in section E, and you're also in seat 5. Sorry, I should say you're in... The first 3 are in section Alpha, row E, seat 5, 6, and 7. You're in row Beta, row E, seat 5.
It's a pleasure to meet both of you.
The pleasure is all mine.
Thank you.
Dagny, I'm sitting there, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're seats 5, 6, and 7. When he's spoken to, Dagny will, again, with a smile, just do a slow head turn, and we'll look at the first person that spoke to him as, "It's a pleasure, yeah." And his weasel is draped over his neck, looking like a fur. The weasel's alive, but right now it's acting limp, so it looks like clothing. And so Dagny will then just like his head slowly goes back to watch the proceedings.
Oh, and as your head turns back, the lights begin to dim, and you hear over the announcement speakers, you hear this.
This is DJD here to your MC for the weekend. Hope you all are having a fantastic day, and we can't wait to get these proceedings started for you. Remember, you can catch me on WKKL and here in Chicago. And tonight, we are ready for the opening ceremonies.
And as he says that, there's just pyrotechnics starting. No reason whatsoever. Just as a little background, you all recognize the voice of DJ D, or as he sometimes go as DJ Decant. Or actually, sorry, no, his more popular, he likes to say his name is DJ D, but he also gets called DJ Denial. And worldwide, he is the most famous radio DJ out there. Yes, radios are still a thing, whether it's digital, analog radios, they still exist, and he is the most popular entertainer out there. He's done comedy, he's done voiceovers, he's done so many other things, but his most popular gig is his DJ shows. He plays some of the best music. And everyone just loves him. So he's up there talking, and he says,
Before we begin, we have a quick little introduction by our esteemed guest for this weekend, for this tournament, who will be the one that will guiding these combatants through the next 4 days of competition. So please join me in welcoming your guest of honor, Chancellor of Camden U. Please welcome Chancellor Melinda Harkness.
and as he says this, everyone starts applauding for her, and she starts walking out. Melinda is a beautiful elf and just walks with grace. She has on what looks like a black trench coat that has its hood down, necklace, a nice ruby necklace that you can see glimmering from even the nosebleed seats. Her face is very perfect, almost. She is beautiful. She has beautiful dreads going down with her hair. And on her back is this beautifully decorated scimitar, which for those of you who know who she is, I think Liz and Alex are probably the only ones who know this because they're in the academia circuit. She never leaves without it. It is her prized possession. It is also her focus. So there's a reason why she doesn't leave without it. And as she gets up to the podium, and she begins to deliver a keynote speech. Everyone, welcome to the Midwest Invitational. I am so glad you all can join us. The next 4 days show the strength, the beauty, and the wonderfulness of these gifts that we were given almost 500 years ago. And she gives this just moving speech about how amazing what this competition shows, what you're going to see, and how it ties into who we are these days. And the speech goes and goes. It's a chancellor's speech, so you probably can guess it drags a little bit, which is why I'm fast forwarding. And then she goes ahead and she finishes the speech. And now it is my pleasure to introduce your combatants for this competition. As she reaches back for her scimitar, she goes to pull, but you realize that the scimitar doesn't really move. The hilt of the scimitar comes apart from the blade as she pulls out a wand and simply says, I now declare the Midwest Invitational. And she goes and points the wand into the air. A stream of magic goes and projects straight towards the Jumbotron and lights up the entire stadium. And the crowd just goes nuts for it. Like, absolutely nuts. DJ Denial goes ahead and the music starts playing. Everyone's still cheering as the doors open up and all the combatants start filing out. Rashmi, you're there. You're seeing the crowd just chant, like, cheering you on.
He's eating a bag of chips.
He's just walking out there with a
Rob
bag of
is
chips.
walking there eating chips. I look the most nonchalant person. Everyone's like, oh, crazy. I'm just walking out looking around eating chips.
It's just some random person in the crowd just goes, yeah, eat those chips! And they're just loving it. And as the line is continues to come through, the entire stadium goes dark. Alex and Liz, Dagny, Edgar, and Ramon, could you all please make wisdom saving throws for me?
Okay,
Don't
also,
like-
You
Riku,
said wisdom, right?
Yeah. What's up?
can I see what's going on? Because I have the invocation of seeing, and I can see in normal and magical darkness.
Yes.
Double sight?
Sure. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Just want to put that out there.
Yeah. Does anyone else? Well, actually, I should ask with everybody else. Who else has dark vision?
I do.
Dagny
Yeah,
does.
cool.
Okay.
I believe changelings have dark vision.
I believe so. I can double check, but I believe so. Okay. Yes.
Well,
What did the four of you roll for your wisdom save?
Really quick,
I
is this
rolled a 19, which plus my 3 wisdom makes that a 22.
22. Okay.
is this a magical effect? Because deep gnomes do get advantage on wisdom saves against magic.
It is magic.
That is a 16.
Total?
Okay, I
Yes.
do have dark vision.
Okay.
Dagny rolls a 22.
22. All right. And Edgar?
6.
What? Oh, just a 6. Oh, all right. Let me make just a couple small adjustments here. Nope. Oh, good.
Oopsie.
Yes, changeling. I searched
Okay, cool.
it up.
We're
you
about to
all
do-
just part of the show.
Liz and Dagny, you feel like a force against you, but you don't know where it's from. It's pulling on your chest, but you're able to just easily shrug it off. Ramon and Edgar, can you two also roll dexterity saves for me? Yes, this is complicated. Trust me, it's gonna be good.
High power.
21.
21. All right. The two of you feel a pulling and a pushing force on you. Ramon kind of jerks forward and kind of catches himself on his feet, like as if he was just pulled 5 feet, but he lands on his feet. Edgar, on the other hand, gets pulled and falls prone, which is odd because you two could have sworn there were chairs right in front of you. So those of you with dark vision in your immediate area, and actually I would say with you, Rashmi, as well. Rashmi, right at this point, you are actually basically in the center of, that's where your line got to. But all of you notice that all of the audience just disappeared. And you just see a few figures here and there. And through your dark vision, also, even with you, Rashmi, you notice that all the other competitors that were around you have also disappeared.
Okay.
But you can see, Rashmi, what you notice is you see several, like, humanoid figures. You can't really make out what they are, that are still on the floor. 2 of which are right next to you, and they just happen to pop into existence there. But the others are just around. Wyatt, you feel the guard dog. Actually, can you make a strength check for me?
A strength test?
A strength.
Sounds good. Yeah, I can do that.
Punchy, big punchy, go.
That is a 15 on the die, and I have no bonus, so 15 it is.
All right, let me just check something real quick. Okay. So you feel a tug from the leash, and it actually ends up slipping out of your hand. The dog just ran off. So now you don't have the dog near you.
I'm not even sure I would have held on. When the place went black, I don't even think I held on to the dog.
Oh, okay. That's,
You know what I mean? Like when it goes dark, the first thing I'm gonna reach for, I'm gonna reach for my flashlight and a pistol. That's gonna be my reaction. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be reacting. I'm gonna be letting that dog go anyway.
Yeah. So for right now, with so you let the dog go. That's fine. With your flashlight, you're looking around, and in front of you, Rashmi, and another human figure sitting on his butt. and another one who is standing there just looking around confused. The light can't really reach it too much, and you see dimly again the humanoid type figures that are on the floor. So suddenly, you hear over the loudspeaker,
Y'all were watching a show, huh?
and you recognize the voice of DJ Denial.
Alex is now in control. You shut up and put us back, or I'm gonna kill you. Now.
Shut up!
You shut up!
So you all
No, I knew this was... I'm always suspect of everything.
Yeah, he's in the booth. He can't really hear you. All he hears is muffled screaming.
I just offer the two guys said next to me. I just offer him some chips. You want some?
You hear him.
say, oh, you are the show. I hope you're ready to show me how well everybody can fight.
How many
And with that,
the booth?
and with that, the lights come up, and you start hearing music, playing again. It's like this EDM song, which is one of the songs he likes to play on his radio. And what around you in the colored lights, they're like flashing all around like it's some kind of rave or something. Except you didn't realize that there were 10 of these pretty grotesque creatures on the floor around you. These are like dark gray. They have no eyes, just a mouth, just the mouth, and that mouth can open up wide. You can see. It looks like what would normally be clothes that are like ripping off them and stuff, but you realize the clothes look like as if they were wearing a human outfit. So you see the shirt, but you also see the skin in the shirt, basically all ripped up and such. And they are just kind of like just jerking around looking at all y'all.
I would like to roll perception.
Go ahead.
Because this is Alex. Liz hasn't seen this yet, so Alex is going to make sure to mentally save Liz in case of, hey, your student's now a monster.
Okay.
No,
And,
it's... I know
you had
it's
something in
dark.
that, Dolfo?
Yeah, just to clarify, we're not in our seats anymore. We're now on the...
You and Alex and Liz are still in your seats because you survived whatever was happening. Ramon and Edgar find themselves in the middle of the stadium.
Are we surrounded by these things?
Yes. Ramon, you are to the right of Rashmi. Edgar, you are behind Rashmi. Right.
Still prone.
I would say at this point you're slowly getting up.
I rolled a 17 plus 4.
So 21?
Yes, 21.
You look at all 10 of them. You do not see anything that resembled Ava or any of your students.
Great, now I get to kill all of them without being guilty. Yes! Yes!
We got 1, 2, 3. Oh shit!
I see 1, 2, 3. Oh.
I would like everybody to please roll initiative. Next time on The Academy.
It's go time, baby.
Our players must survive and escape the arena.
Boys, that's 5 for me.
No, I called him.
But who would attack them? And more importantly, why?
You did this on a trap!
Find out on the next episode of The Academy.